So, hello all, welcome to Robinson Training. It's a continued video for the course Advanced Network Exploitation Expert. Myself, Rikun Sindwad, and I will be your instructor for this entire journey. I hold over 5 years of experience in cybersecurity. I'm a red teamer at work. I also do security researcher and hold multiple CVs. Couple of articles are published over Pen Test Magazine, OSCP, OSW, and OSCP certified from Offensive Security. The course Advanced Network Exploitation Expert helps you to build core knowledge against network security and penetration testing. It is designed for everyone with the basic understanding for the cybersecurity domain, like basic networking and the basic pen testing things. An example would be anyone with the knowledge of CEH. Post completion of the course, you will able to gain core concept understanding over various topics, perform internal or external penetration testing, perform extensive network assessment, find security misconfiguration within Active Directory environment, able to do privilege escalation over Windows and Linux machines, write automation scripts, and many more to go. Please read the description before moving ahead with the course content. We are continuing chapter 4 Web4Shell, and in this particular chapter you will going to learn different web application vulnerabilities that can be leads to RCE or remote code execution. The first vulnerability that we will going to start with is SQL injection, and it's a very first video of this particular chapter. So let's get started. In this chapter of SQL injection, in this particular section, if I be specific, instead of moving towards SQL injection straight away, I'm expecting some of you as a viewer might not aware with the basic SQL concept. What is SQL? What is databases? And what are the other keynotes that is required in order to understand SQL injection? For which what I have planned here is to give you a basic overview of SQL, that is structured query language, give you a basic hands-on experience of communication with MySQL database. There are other databases. I'll gonna explain what are those databases and few other things as well. But this entire topic would be covered by just utilizing this MySQL. So we will going to look it further in just a few minutes, I would say. So let's start with a very basic understanding of how SQL work, what is SQL, what is database, and so on and so forth. So the SQL is structured query language. It's a query language that can help you to interact with the database. If I be specific, it can help you to interact with the relational database. Relational database is what you can tell as a table structured data where there is a row, there are rows, there are columns, and so on and so forth. In parallel, I'll start exploring a website that is W3 Scoop. And trust me, if you want to learn SQL in detail and with the very less efforts, I would recommend to go and just solve it out. It will gonna take around a day or a couple days mostly if you just give your time somewhere like an hour or 2 hour. It's not that difficult. It's a plain English itself. So just give it a try and it will be super duper easy to try the other stuff that are available there. However, few things that are required in order to understand our concepts, I will going to cover. Of course. So let's get started. Here is first example of this particular query that says select star from customer. So this particular database, what do I mean by database? Let's say it's a storage area, and that storage area has different folders, and that folder does have different files. It is something similar you can compare to your hard drive. Your hard drive does have different folders, and inside those folders you put some files. Similarly, this is how it's structured. So there will be a database. It can have any name. Okay, it can be as simple as a new database name, or it can be anything. It's just depends on what you would like to provide, would like to call it as. Okay, that database will going to have multiple files, so consider this as a folder, and now those files are called as tables. And as you know, the table structure does have rows and columns. So this is how it structures. Let's give it a run in order to understand. This customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, and country. Those are your columns. So what you see this part, those what you see here in the vertical line are the columns like postal code, city, address, and whatnot. And the one what you see here in the horizontal part are the rows. And now each column data has a specific relation with the other available columns. Means customer ID 1 will gonna have a relation with customer name, customer contact name, I mean, address, city, postal code, and whatnot. So you can retrieve any information by just using any single column name here. Now this entire data, I mean this columns and rows here are in a particular table, and that table name here is customer. There is no database name specified here, but this is just for an example. And what does the star mean here? Star will going to denote that wildcard. I mean, every column name that is available in this particular table, I want that to be displayed. So if I don't want all the columns, what I'm gonna do? I'll just gonna specify a column name, and that's it. You can also rename that particular column by just typing as let's say test while on the go. So it will gonna return as a different column name. It's just for fun. It's not something useful, of course, in our security or pen testing things. But yeah, it was just to give you an overview. So here with the customer name, I can also get address for the same by just having two different columns specified one after another. There is some spelling mistake here. Let me just quick fix, and here we go. You can also specify 1 and 2, and it will return something in that entire table. So how many rows, where n number of row it will gonna have, it will gonna display that 1, 2, and whatnot, whatever you specify here. So it was just for fun again, not useful, but just wanted to give you some basic idea of how this SQL statement works, right? This was very basic. There are few other examples in order to retrieve some data. And this is what we will going to learn in first few videos. Once we are aware with some basic concepts of SQL, then we will move further for learning SQL injection. So don't get worried or confused something. Let's just wait for the right time to understand the right thing. Let's move ahead with some more example. So let's say I want to select customer name, or let's just select star for now to have everything listed down here. And let's understand some conditions here. Like if I want to list all the user that are from a particular city, so let's say Berlin. So I'm gonna say, hey database, I want you to select everything from customer name table where Berlin is what the city is. So it can be just like city equals to Berlin. And remember, whenever you have this text, whenever you see the text or string, you have to put it in a either single quote or the double quote. Most of the time in real world examples, you will going to find this specified in a single quote. So it's something best for practice. So just give it a go for now. And here we go. What I get is I got one user in return that is from Bali. And there might be other cities as well. Some of the city has more number of people. And here we go. This is what we get. Correct. You can also specify where city equals to this particular. Along with that, let's say you want a particular postal code along with that. So you can say and postal code is equals to, let's say, 05021. And as soon as I hit enter, here we go. We got our response back. So this is how your database can be used or can be used to save your data or retrieve your data. We are just retrieving for now, but I'll give you some more nudge on how it inserts your data and whatnot. But this was just an overall overview of the SQL and its functionality. So it's as simple as English. If you are aware with the basic English, then it's not difficult at all. The conditions here are also very common and it's not that difficult. Those are the logical operator and or not, XOR and so on and so forth. You can supply any of those, literally any. So this can be also specified as or. So I'll gonna say, hey, I want everything from a customer name table where city is equals to this or the postal code is equals to this. So it will gonna dump everything that has those condition matched, any of those, not both, because of the or operator. Based on the or operator, either first condition has to be true or the second condition has to be true. If any of the condition is true, then entire statement will gonna be a true statement. So remember this is important keynote for you. So yeah, this is what all for this particular select statement. Let's give it a go with some more examples. So with the next example, I'll be using a local BWAP machine that I have with me. And that BWAP machine is nothing but BBox that you can get it from internet. Just search for BBox. And the first website what you're gonna get would be the right one. So go for this website and that would be fair enough. Just download the 7-zip file, use your VM, whatever you are using is VirtualBox or VMware Workstation, you can go with that. Okay, so that's being said, let's connect to my MySQL server that is hosted on that particular server. I mean the BBox. Let's provide the password. Remember, when you supply MySQL and along with the -u and -p, U will be for username, P is not for the password. Even the MySQL help menu says that P is for password. It's not at all. There is some type of mistake or what I can say. This can be used to specify your database name. So remember, this is not your password, it's a database name. Seems like IP got changed. I need to quick check that out. So let me quick find. I don't want to type ifconfig. Instead, I'll go with this particular way. It's a 130 that has changed. Absolutely. Maybe machine got rebooted or something. Let's specify the password. And here we go. So as I am connected now to MySQL, let me show you some basic things here. Basic commands or statements that I would like to showcase. The first is show databases. Remember I told you a few minutes back how it's structured. So there is something called database that can have any name, right? Those MySQL is a database server that will gonna hold multiple days database. Inside those databases, there will be tables. So let's check how it actually is. When you type show databases, it will going to display all the databases that it has. And the first here, it says information schema. The second one says PWAP. Third one says internal web application. The fourth one DBWA. Fifth one MySQL. Now you have to keep an idea of two different databases. The first is information schema. This will not going to contain any sensitive information. This will just use for faster query result. It's something for cache or similar functionality. So this database is being used for getting all the things done faster and all. The second database here is MySQL, and this MySQL database is for your MySQL configuration, like the user you are connected to, like root and the password it has. Those information is being stored inside this particular database. So those are system generated databases. Apart from that, if you see any other, those are the web application related databases, and our most important focus should be on those parts. However, if you don't find anything, feel free to dig into the MySQL, but usually it does not have juicy information. The only information it will gonna have is the username and password. Sometimes it does have some functions that also can be leveraged in order to get the shell access, but will not gonna be include. Well, we are not going to include that for this time. So that's being said, let's dig into those databases. So first I'll dig into one of the database that is DBWA. Let's use DBWA. Remember, by default, I use this BWAP as a database name, and this is what under use. As soon as I specify this use DBWA, this will gonna be changed. It says database changed, and right now the database name is DBWA. Now, if I type show tables, let me clear the screen. And this is what it says. It says there are two tables. One is guest book and another one is user. So it's like there is a folder named DBWA. In that folder, there are two different Excel sheet. The first Excel sheet is guest book and second one is user. Inside Excel sheet, what you will get? A table and raw structure data. And in this particular table, you'll got the similar kind of data. So let's try to read everything from the user, similar way how we did over that W3 school site. So select star, as I'm not aware of all the different columns, from user, from users, and hit enter. Perfect. It returns some value. I know it's little hard to read, so what I'm gonna do, I'll quickly change the font size and should be better. I guess if I make it a little slow, little small, then it would be perfect. Here, this is in a table structure. Of course, the visual here looks a little weird, but again, it's in a table structure. What you see here on the topmost, those are the column fields. Like there is a column name, user ID, first name, last name, user, and password. And each column data has some relation to the other available column data as well. So remember this. That being said, let's give it a try to use our where condition here again, where let's say user equals to admin, and let's hit. Oops, remember whenever you specify a string, it must be in a single or double apostrophe or double quotes. If that is not something with the string, and if it is something with the user ID, then you can some specify. If it is something with the integer, I mean, then you can just straight away specify your ID. You can also use other than this equal to sign, like I'm gonna say, hey, I want you to show me all the users where user ID is greater than, let's say, greater than 2. So it will not going to show something that is equal to or less than 2. It will just going to show third, fourth, and fifth user, right? The password what you see here are the hashed one, and that requires someone to crack, right? So we're not gonna go dig into cracking those passwords for now, but yeah, this is just an overall idea of how SQL queries, which are those, are used to interact with the database. It can retrieve data, it can insert data, and it can also alter the data. Basically, it can manage all your database data by just having those simple query. So that's it. That's all for this video. Stay tuned for the next video. There will be some more basic concept related to MySQL and related to the specific SQL, if I say. And yeah, if you have any query confusion in this particular video, feel free to comment below. And that's it. That's all. See you next time.